Hey there guys, beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome back to another one of my videos if you are tuning in regularly or not. If you are new or if you have been tuning in for a while. So today I have a story and a sharing about life experience. So something major is shifting inside of me, and I feel it's shifting inside of many of us now. And it just needs to be recognized and acknowledged for what it is. So I have returned home from what was intended to be a 2-day mountain lake retreat and trip, and it turned out to be a 1-day. I was returning home late in the evening because I got my period and I got really crampy here, and I just felt the magic started to be like fleeting away. And if there's no joy, it means obviously it's not the right thing anymore. It's something has shifted in between, and you just really can't stay where you thought something was going to be like and how you imagine it to be. You have to be in the moment, because our guidance is really coming in the moment. And for me yesterday, although my day was really beautiful, and it's windy, I'm sorry. It's sunny but windy, so I hope you can hear me. And I was just guided to really leave, to go back home, because my heart was telling me so. You know, in the past, I used to be a lot like, oh, you know, if I already came here, I'm going to do how I imagined it to do. So I used to live in my personality, ego self as well, more often, and I'm really amazed how much more I listen to myself, how much more I listen to my heart. And after the day spent by the lake in beautiful weather and sunbathing and, you know, just swimming twice in the lake was really nice. And it was my heart desire for a long time. But then just at the end of the day, it was late evening, and I drove up to this viewpoint. There was a bench and this like whole view, and there was the moon glowing and basking, you know, in the sky. And just made myself tea, and there was this beautiful moment. But something, you know, when I imagined going in the sleeping bag and being there, and even before, you know, when I was meditating at the lake when the sun was going down, I just got the sense that this trip won't be like I imagined it to be. I wanted to stay at the campsite, but I wasn't guided so. And then when I was drinking my tea, I had my oracles with me, you know, the angel tarot, and I put one out, and the one flipped over, and it was a card that I actually, guys, never received before, and it was Archangel Chamuel with life experience. And that's why today I've been called to just title the video this way. And the card was all about breaking free, you know, suddenly having this realization that breaks you free, and realizing something, and this experience in your life that you're experiencing now, to see it as something that awakens you, that gives you this something to spread your wings even further. So remember, I've been talking to you guys about my journey, how it was, and these realizations I've been having about the houses, the homes, the freedom of being. And this video is directly linked with the freedom of being that I recorded just probably like a week ago or less. And the thing is that in that moment, I just felt this is what I'm feeling. And that today, you know, waking up in my bed, which is what I wanted, you know, to not just hurry all the time, to not just be, you know, thinking and planning and just getting the bags out of the car, in the car, up the stairs, down the stairs, and just wanting to really be. And this really got my attention, because when I woke up today, I felt, okay, something is really shifting inside me today. You know, in the full moon is always about releasing something, and us coming into deeper realizations about something that's been building up, you know, in the cycle, because every lunar cycle is also our personal cycle. And I've been thinking about this, and I've been releasing something by the lake yesterday, because, you know, when you're releasing something and you're aware of it, when you're being that lives through the soul, you're totally aware of it. You feel different. And I just felt something shifting today, and I've been watching videos from one of my friends. There were oracle readings, and there was this reading about an answer no, and there was a bug, you know, in the card, and I keep seeing bugs everywhere. I mean, they keep crawling on me, and I'm always asking them, oh my God, you must have such a message for me this summer, and they do. And there was a bug on the picture, and the card said no, you know, this is not the right path for you, like nothing's there for you there. It's not your fulfillment, your heart desire. So the other card was, yes, things are coming into realization, and this is your right path, and you have been patient, and this has been long overworked on, and it is going to be soon time for you to bask in, this, and, the happily ever after. And there was this picture of the mountains and the sun shining between them, and this was my vision all along. So because I wasn't really guided to do my mountaineering trip this weekend, which I first wanted to, and then I chose to go by the lake, because obviously I had something to release, and the weather showed that it's going to be better on Monday, and there was the full moon, and I said, yeah, I want to go to the full moon, and I want to sleep under the moon, I want to sleep under stars. And again, I wanted to make everything so tight, I wanted to use up every moment. I wanted to go for the 2 days and then return back home. I have a session and then return back the next day, and it's just exhausting. It can get really exhausting. So when I was taking a walk here in this beautiful local hill, which is just amazing, the moment I stepped into the woods all by myself, all alone, I started getting these tears in my eyes, just remembering how it is to be alone, because I was not alone on my trip. And something just came up, and how it is for me easy and amazing to be myself, to be alone. Because the moment I'm alone, and just everything else, the energy of others, the energy of events, the energy of the collective all over, although when I was walking and sensing other people, and then I walked towards that lodge there, and there's people saying hi, and I'm like, oh, hi. Just realizing how much I love everyone, how much I do, whatever they do, whether they're drinking or smoking or whatever, that Christ the love you have for everyone, it is universal, but you gotta let them be and do whatever they're doing. And in my life, I used to be a lot like shifting, adjusting my life for others, and now this summer, this year, for the first time, I just really am setting myself free from that. It's just, what do I need on a soul level? Because today, when I stepped into the forest, yeah, and the wind is supporting me, although I guess you guys can really hear me, but it's just when I feel the sensation, when I feel the strength of this, I just feel the wind is really supporting this, by the strength of energy. The weather is our direct representation. So, as you know, I like to share from now on my journey more intimately with you guys. My personal experience that will reflect my inner world, that will show the way for others to step more into our authentic self. Oh, come on, you wind. Give it a rest for just a few moments. I'm trying to record here. Yeah, nature is unpredictable, and that is how it was in my journey. But the realization that came today, came through peace and these tears of remembrance. And when you feel peace, this is the right thing for you. And I just felt how in my life I have adjusted things to kind of please others, to say, okay, maybe the other one will like this, so I'm going to do it this way instead of doing it my way. And every time I did this, I didn't allow myself to be fully in the freedom, because maybe in the past I used to be afraid that if I always say to others, I'm going to do this alone, I'm going to go alone on this trip, I'm going to do that alone, I need to do it, because I'm shifting a lot from personal to transpersonal, to, which is just when I'm alone, I can always easily receive and download anything. When I'm in a company of someone else who's not completely on my energy level of vibration, it is hard for me. It's like I clog up. It's like the energy is shared in that space, so I need to build a bridge with that person, and therefore the link that I have when I'm fully in my energy, without dimming my light, without shifting the energy, then I'm fully recipient of that all the time, constantly. So I can write, I can sense it, I can feel it. And when I'm taking a trip, and if it's with someone else, even if it's the person you love the most, that it's the dearest to your heart, and if they're not your energetic equal, it will be very challenging. So it's like today I felt, this is the life experience that the card was showing me about. This is what needs to shift. It's my own even deeper stepping into my body. I felt when I was sitting there on the observation point there in the top of the hill, I felt like the soul is really wanting to descend in my body right now. And whenever my soul is doing that, I get these tears of remembrance. It's just, I feel one with this objective observer that just is me, that wants to merge so deeply and so intimately with me. And it's just so easy at that time, and I have to tell you guys, remember, a lot of the times I have said it's not so much about the place, I've said that I've achieved this sense of peace. And when you're still seeking something, and I've noticed yesterday I said, oh, I still have that restlessness feeling inside of me. It's like, I described it as, it's like I'm always constantly searching for something, and it's not in the physical, it's not out there, it's not on each mountaintop, it's the energy that I connect to when I go. And you know, when people that can come out of balance, it's like, I need to reach all those mountain peaks, all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, it's like, it's not the real purpose, you know, here. It's the energy, it's the merging that is taking place, and it's your personal vortices that are getting activated, and it's the inner source connection that's really important here. So when it feels like I'm seeking something externally, it's not right, it's not coming from my soul. It's like I'm trying to get this understanding, okay, what failed here? What did I fail to see? You know, what am I missing? And yesterday felt like this. So whenever I feel like this, I'm observant enough to know, okay, this is something to show me even deeper, on an even deeper level, because yesterday even Mercury, the planet of communication, has shifted back into direct, well, stationary direct, or whatever they're calling it. But it's like something in me also shifted. It's like this internal communication with yourself, you know, it's not just external communication. It will always be directly linked and mirrored through your inner communication that you have with yourself. So it was a lot about the shift yesterday that took place inside me, that something really authentic just no longer can hide in me. It just really needs to be expressed. Really, really, like, I'm a free spirit. I just need to do things my way. And the moment, for example, let's say you're taking a trip with someone who's not in your vibration. They don't like to do the same things. They like to do it on some level, but the moment you're waiting for them, or they're waiting for you, or you want to do it some way and someone else wants to do it that way, which is fine, but in the space of true oneness, we really have to be the individuals that we are. And these life experiences that I'm talking about, the life experience itself right now is what it's showing us, that we each will have our own. There will be lots of variations, but they will show us, you know, the ascension cannot happen without full inner integration. Like I've said, you cannot function in the greater collective, in the group consciousness, until you're fully independent and inner developed, you know, individualized, unique, fully embracing your uniqueness without shame, without thinking you're gonna hurt another person. You know, if you say, I want to do it myself, I want to do this myself, it's not a selfish thing. It's like if you're called to do it, like I am called to do these trips and to do the sacred mountaineering trips, it's always to receive some sort of action, like an activation, or something that I'm meant to receive through spirit, and it's a ley line work. And when I'm not doing it myself, like I said, or if there is a complete energy match for me, it's just not the same. It's like you build a bridge with a person that can hold as much as awareness as you can, and the energy shifted already. If it's an equal, it's already it's naturally so. You know, it like merges and sync. It's like harmonized connection. It's like like an instant attraction that it doesn't need any necessary work. It's a natural attraction. Then, you know, you just go through it. You just follow through it, and then you have a mutual purpose, and it will be shared. But when it's not this way, you know, we used to have this shame or guilt for saying, I want to do it this way, because there's no explanation. I'm just called to do it this way. And we used to have this shame because we thought others are not going to understand us, or they won't always understand, and they'll say, you're an isolated person. You are, you know, why are you like this? It's just, we no longer need to explain this. It's just how it is. And if something feels dry, like a desert, if there's no life there, it just means that it's not your way. You know, like the oracle that I've seen today. No, it's not something for your highest good. Sometimes we think it is, because a lot of times this is coming from the pressure that is external and coming from other people, and we think it's something we need to do, but our ego convinces this way, but it's really not, because our soul knows what is needed, required for us on a source level. And it will always be for service, because when I'm doing things alone, it's not for me to enjoy life like just me. It's always to receive this higher guidance. And if I'm not plugged in, meaning that if I'm not in this service, I'm dry out, and I constantly need to be this. And not everyone is like this. Or for example, not everybody is on the same level of service. They're doing it on their own level. Like I've just read yesterday, you know, in the books from Dolores Cannon, and this person, their soul described through their experience and through the hypnosis, they described that actually everybody, it's like in a building, in a high escalated building, it's each floor represents something and it's of the same importance, it's just different. So it's like now there's a lot of volunteering souls that I'm constantly talking about. They're here, but each serving on their own level and through their own, amount of expertise and things that are really good at, and how they're serving is unique. So when you're called to do something, you don't no longer need to describe it. It's your own life experience. It's yours. It's what sets you free. It will be totally different than someone else's. That doesn't mean that they're not of service. It's just when you want to do it kind of like together and there's no harmony, there's just a different path. It doesn't mean you're not to commune with people, you're not to communicate, you're not to share certain experiences with them, or live together, or have roommates or have friends. It just means that the part of you that is really personal, really individual, really intimate, you need to live by yourself. Or like I said, if there's an intimate partner for you that is totally on your own, not just wavelength, but on your own level of service, that's matching. It's really matching, because we are of service. All of us volunteering souls, we're of service. It's just this service is very unique. And if I'm not doing it, for example, it's just me sharing through me. If I'm not doing it this way, I'm just not honoring it. And it's really time to honor this. It's time to honor our life experiences and the free will to choose them. The free will doesn't always mean that you're going to do it through ego. It means that the human part, understanding the free will and then being responsible about it, and then saying, I'm really conscious about it, so I'm going to choose through my soul. That's also the aspect of free will. And when my soul chooses, it's pure and it's me. It's always about me being of service, and it's always about service. It's never about anything else. Every trip that I take when I'm alone, every hiking that I take through the forest, it's all for guidance. It's all for this higher merging. It's all not just for me, but the higher purpose of us all, the sharing that takes place. It is often, confirmed by so many emails that I'm receiving. And when you look at it personal, like what your family will think, what your friends will think, I remember there was a time, just probably maybe just a month ago, or less, I think less, when I said to my own mom, I said, I love you really so much. We are so similar in so many ways, but so different in so many other ways. And it's not about that. It's about the unique purpose you have and the unique purpose that I have. And we can honor and we can support each other, but we cannot be attached to each other. It's not working anymore for me. And for her as well. She knows that. And this is good. The differences, the uniqueness is good. It's just when we go through these relationships, we need to be so unique, so individualized, and very independent as well. Because a lot of times some people are still clinging to another as a source of their happiness, to take them somewhere, to experience something with them. But actually it's ourselves that are getting these life experiences sourced through us, that we actually create these adventures. And if the adventures that we're creating are not really matching our signature, it means that it's time to really realize that and move on. It's really time to move on. And a lot of times in my life I've been saying, okay, I'll take someone with me because I don't want to be alone. But then when I did it, it was not the same bliss that I experienced when I was alone. And it's not meant for me to be isolated. It's not the same thing, because if I would be an isolated being, I wouldn't share this. I wouldn't record about it. I wouldn't share with the rest of the world. I wouldn't put myself out there all the time and create all these things and videos and all of it and interviews. I would just keep it to myself and be like, okay, I'm here. I'm a hermit. It's not just that. We're all hermit. We need to be when it's the time of pondering and inner diving, to these depths of our soul and reawakenings and realizations and just self-trials and tribulations. These are initiations, as I call them. And without this, it's just, there's no divine remembrance. And we really need a lot of alone time on this journey. It doesn't mean that you're an isolated being. Remember, it's not the same thing. To be alone and lonely, it's just not the same thing. Because a lot of times when I was really alone, I felt the most supported and embraced, and the most presence I felt. A lot of time in the company of others who were not matching my frequency, that just means the purpose was different. Just lately I was working with this as a pendulum, and it works, guys. And I was asking it, is it possible, like I said, for me and this person, can we be friends on some level? And the answer was no. And I was like, okay. And I said to you guys, it's just the purpose is different. It doesn't mean, it's nothing personal. Like I said to my mom, I said, I love you. But it's just, I love everyone. I don't just love you just because of the role that you have played in my life as my mom. It's just a role. We had the sacred contract and we honor it, but that's it. It ends there. It ends with self-respect and honoring and appreciating and knowing about the soul contract and purpose. But that's it. There's no attachments to it. There's no need. There's no requirements. There's no need to control it, or that you're owing someone something, like this in the old paradigm, parents were bringing up children and they were saying, now you owe me because I've brought you up, or, it's like, come on, for the upbringing, I'm owing you. It's a choice. As much as we, the children choose the parents choose the children. Oh, look at this tiny creature crawled in my lap. So it's all an agreement, but without any attachments. And that's why I said to my mom, I said, I love the whole world. I love everyone. So when I'm alone, I need to be because of this guidance that I'm receiving, that I'm putting out there for everyone. It's not just for her. It's not just for me. It's for everyone to see and to love and to feel. So the life experience that sets us free is what we feel the most authentic for ourselves. And it is directly linked with really honoring our spirit self, with honoring the descent of our soul that is now taking place for us pioneers. It also has a lot to do with the time we're in right now, a lot of water energy, and water is shifting so fast. Like I'm saying to you that lately I just don't know, I can't plan far ahead, even one day, even 1 hour maybe, I was just about to head into my sleeping bag yesterday and I'm thinking about it. Oh gosh, I don't feel it anymore. It's like the guidance was go home. Okay, and there's this great thing I would like to also mention at the end. When I was in the Alchemy of Light interview with DJ Jamil Graham, sorry guys. And before me there was another guest. I think it was Meg Benedicte, something like that. And she said, when the host asked her, sometimes isn't the fear constructive because it actually guides you in a way that warns you before something, or and she said no, because I'm directly receiving soul guidance. I'm receiving like instructions, so fear is not needed. It's not fear that's guiding me. And it was so obvious because in my life I've always had this, but I didn't always follow it, because remember, we all have it. It's just how much we resist it. So I'm noticing in my life I'm really fluent. I'm not having these excuses anymore. Or when you are actually through ego, you are trying to clarify something, or you're trying to give it meaning, although it doesn't have it. It's just as it is. You're guided something else now. Been there, done that, moving on. So it's just the ego that wants to do that. And I'm just listening to myself. And if something comes and it's a different guidance than it was just an hour before, it doesn't matter. And from a three-dimensional paradigm, it will look like, oh my gosh, this person can make up their mind. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. Be careful. Don't fall for those tricks. Don't fall for the pressures of others. Because if this is what is happening, it's just not your energy. It doesn't matter how much weird you will look with shifting all the time. It's you getting adjusted to the now moment. It's you getting adjusted to Ascension way of living, the ascended way of living and being your true self, and receiving these instructions and living the way of your higher self, merging your higher self and your personality. So this life experience that I'm talking about now is the setting free of our human personality, not by throwing it away, not by killing it, but by merging it with it, so that our personality can receive the higher self instructions, work with it as one, and then live this life of our true soul in this body. It's what I'm talking about, guys, all the time. And these experiences are what gets us through. Life is not just to be talked about. We are each asked to really grow now through these sets of experiences. So a lot of us are being guided to shift something. I've even received a few emails from people mentioning many things. You know, I see a lot of people are shifting in their careers, you know. Just one of my friends recently, I've been noticing this, and I'm saying, wow, you know, bravo, people, you know, rising up, things are changing, accept it, embrace it, that's it. And also emails about some people are feeling this loss of balance or unhappy with what they're doing. It's like they lost this connection with the magic. And I feel because of it, I'm doing these videos about magic, about reconnecting with yourself, but always living this way. You know, the Christed being is never saying, okay, time to pause, time to go back to my ego. No, it always lives as a fused, integral being that always has their personality and spirit merged as one. Once you do it, you cannot lose it. You cannot lose the link, you know. It's just funny because some people say, oh, sometimes you can lose yourself. No, if you really find yourself, it's not fighting yourself, but remembering. Once you remember, it's there. It doesn't go away. If it did go away, sorry guys, you didn't remember yet fully. You're not living it yet. But once you do, once you bring it in, never ending. It's just up, up, up. It's just infinite expansion from there on. Okay guys, I'm heading off to go see the view there and then returning home. And yeah, life is unpredictable, and that's it. That's the whole beauty of it. That's how we grow. So I love you so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Probably from my sacred mountain space, if everything goes out well. So, bye. Look what I'm doing, guys. This is so hippie-like. I just picked those wild black cherries. So sweet, amazing. Just here, you know, you see off the floor. They're everywhere. But mostly they already fell off the tree, so yeah. I try to find the good ones. But you know, I see this as a gift. Most of the people would say, yuck, you know, picking them off the floor. You know, I will wash them myself. It's just, I see this as a reward. And the message is, they gave me a message. The message is, don't overlook the sweet things in life. You know, just because they might seem not where you want it to be, but it's there. It's willing. It's like, hello. It's even if I'm not on the tree, please pick me up. So after wanting to return here, I found this, and I wanted to give you this as a message as well. It's just cherish everything, cherish all the moments, notice them. Mostly it's about noticing them. And they're so sweet, so they represent the sweetness of life. And just really going for it. Okay, I hope you like my last message. Yummy, yummy. We'll go eat it now. And, well, enjoy. Well, guys, you see, it's such a beautiful day today with such a beautiful weather and the view. And this is the tree under which I'm recording. And I just wanted to say, you know, when you're looking at your life and your life experiences, you know, take it one step at a time, you know, like 1, 2, 3. Yes, just enjoying, you know, whatever the view it is that you're seeing at that moment. Whether it's white, or it's pink, or it's green, or it's like this. Whatever it is, it's okay. As long as we really, really, really take it one step at a time. This is so important because the past, you know, the nostalgia, all of that, all the past experiences are just to get us where we are now. We're not to live in them. They're not existent anymore. They're just energy signatures. And the future, it's unwritten. It's blank. It's there to be stepped into. It's just the energetic focus that we are to carry. It's not something where we can live. You know, truly. Look, there's in the distance, you know. Sometimes I think I'm going to go somewhere, and the next day I receive another guidance. So it's really all shifting so fast. So we must really learn to take it one step at a time. Just slowly, guys, okay? Don't ever forget to enjoy the view on your journey. To just, you know, when you're focused on the destination, like, oh, I want to get to that tree. And then you just forget about all the rest, about all that you see in between, all the shades. Then you really missed a point, didn't you? Okay. Take care and so many blessings. Lots of love.